You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No, you can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's ZENNI.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. How are you? Come on in here, man. Good to have you here today. Happy Thursday. And man, listen to me. I actually almost have a voice today. This head cold has been ick. But now I'm kind of sexy sounding, I think. Don't you think so? I don't know. Hey, got a new thing for you today. It's an options framework, and you're going to like it.
I need a boost. I need a daily boost. I need a boost. I need a daily boost.
It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com. My name is Scott Smith. Good to have you. Thanks for coming into my studio today. Glad to have you here today, and thanks for putting up with me with my head cold here and my very raspy sound. Feeling better. I appreciate the notes that you've been sending. That's been awesome. Just a nasty cold. Just not any fun at all. I was drowning yesterday, and I kind of felt it turned a little bit today. So I think I'm on the downhill side of this thing. Thank goodness. The worst part about it, by the way, is I live in Daytona Beach, Port Orange, Florida. It's a beautiful time of the year. It's like 73, 74 degrees. It's awesome. It's Daytona Bike Week this week. I've got a motorcycle in the garage, a 2024 Harley Street Glide. And I can't ride it because I don't feel good. And when I don't feel good, I'm not safe and I won't go out there. So I'm hoping tomorrow I'll get some motorcycle time in. About 400,000 motorcyclists from all over the world here right now. And I just want to get out and have some fun with them. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about a framework that I introduced during my inner circle today. And I've never dropped it on people. I'll tell you the story where it came from and why it originated here and why you may want to learn this. It's about creating options in your life, not being reactive, but having more options in your life. So I'll drop that here in just a second. The inner circle is fantastic. Let me give you an example of what we do there and why this had such an impact. The inner circle is a small group. We only had 6, 7 people on the call today. It goes to about 15, maybe 16, but it's a small group. This is private coaching with me in a group environment. And it's incredibly powerful when you put the two together. These are high capacity people. They're like you. They got the job, they got the house, they got all the stuff. They're smart. And we work between the lines because it's a nuance. It's between the lines. A lot of what you hear on this show every single day, but we work one-on-one on that to help them do more of what they want to do and to get grounded and get the life they want, right? If you're interested in being a part of a group like that, you may fit. Send a note. Hey, Scott Smith on Instagram. Just tell me you're interested in the inner circle, or send me a note to coaching@motivationtomove.com, and I will get back to you, and we'll talk and see if it's a good fit. And I'll give you all the information you need, and it's a two-way street on this one. It's either a good fit both ways or we don't do it, okay? So I'm just telling you, I'm not going to sell you. It's a good fit or it's not. Okay, so where do I start with this thing? Here's how it arrived. There's a couple of words in my world that we say all the time. Success is one of the words you hear all the time in the world of personal growth and just about any place else. Everybody wants success. Now, for the longest time, I've not liked the word success. And the reason I haven't is because I never quite understood what it meant, and neither did any client I ever talked to. When I asked them, I said, what do you mean by success? They would not have a clear answer. And you've got to be specific or you're not going to get what you want. But still, the word works. It fits in. We understand it, kind of gets us there, right? So that's a good word. But the other word you hear a lot these days, and for years and years and years now, is the word freedom. Now, again, in my world and the life I choose to live, I choose a freedom style life, meaning I don't want anybody controlling me. I never have. And I made the choice about 25 years ago that I was not working for the man anymore. I do my own thing. I wanted a freedom life for myself. I wanted the ability to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. That's a good way to describe it. And I've done that. I've helped a lot of people do the same thing. I got a background here. This is my track record. It's my pedigree in this thing, right? I know how to do this stuff. But still, the word freedom is one of those words like success. It's kind of hard to understand, isn't it? You mean patriotic freedom? What kind of freedom you mean, Scott? It's kind of one of those words. And yet we kind of get it, don't we? So it works on some levels, but I was having an issue with a client of mine. And I asked him one day, I said, so what do you really want? And I've had him for a year. And what I find is that over time, the longer I have a client, you go deep and deep and deep, and then you kind of come up a little bit, you plateau a little bit, then you go deeper. And sometimes you almost go back to basics. And that's what I did that day. I said, so what do you really want, man? And we've been talking for a year and we're working a lot of cool things, but what do you really want in your life? He said, man, I just want freedom. I said, what does that mean? And he hemmed and hawed for about a minute and didn't know exactly what it meant. Ultimately, it meant, hey, I want enough money. I want control of my time. I want to spend more time with my family. That's what it meant to him, but he couldn't get there right away. That's the problem with that kind of word. So I thought, well, let's introduce another word to him. And I came back the next week. I said, well, instead of calling this freedom, what if we called it options? And he stopped in his tracks. Options was a better word. And we talked about it for a bit. And here's the thing. Most people that I talk to, that's really what you want in your life. You want some options. What you don't want is ever to be trapped. In the coaching world, you'll see a lot of people advertise, a lot of websites will say this, are you stalled? Are you trapped? Do you feel like you can't move forward? You see that all the time. I don't tend to talk in that language, although I know that's how you feel. But what I know you really want is you want options so you can get out of being that way. So I always look at the other side of it, the real deeper issue here. Everybody wants options. You want choice. You want to do the things you want to do. Sometimes it's money that's in your way. Sometimes it's responsibilities in your way. Sometimes it's a job you think is good for you, but it's really not. There's all kinds of things that are stopping you. And if you don't have options, you don't have freedom. So it's a problem because I hang my hat on teaching people how to live a free life, to do the things they want to do, to be able to have flexibility, if you will. But the options idea was interesting. So I get on this inner circle call today, and I just took a few minutes before the call, and I actually wrote it down on a keynote slide. And I said, well, if I have time, I'll drop it in today. I like to teach him along the way. I like to teach a little bit and dive into a little bit of coaching and then teach a little bit and some more coaching. Smart people like that. They want to learn something new. They want to practice something they maybe have known before. They want to be reminded of something they had forgotten. They want to be challenged a little bit, but certainly they want to get something new. So that came up that I would give them something new today. So I said, this is my options framework. It's designed for you to be able to take control of what's happening in day-to-day life. Now, before I start this, I want to tell you that this is nothing that you're going to do in 60 seconds or 5 minutes. Although you could have this right in front of you and you could literally, this can happen in 60 seconds, depending on the situation. But it could also take a week or 2 or 3 or 4. It could take a month. Same framework, different time frame, depending on what's going on. So let's go through this and tell you why this came together. The options framework, we start with the O in options because it's acronym. And you know, people that do the work that I do, we sit around all day long writing acronyms. That's what we do. It's just easy to remember. It's like the only people who do more acronyms than coaches like I am are the military and the aviation industry. That's about it. Otherwise, we do acronyms. So mine is options, at least for this. The O stands for observe. When something happens in your life, when you feel uncomfortable, when you feel maybe trapped, when you feel like something's not right, or something is right. It could be just about anything, right? It really is. Anything comes up, but you're feeling in that place like, you know what I mean? That feeling? Observe it. Step back. Notice what's actually happening.
Where is Daredevil? Oh my God. It's the return of Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
So what's next?
I feel liberated,
We're gonna take this city back.
over medicated.
In an all-new season, now streaming only on Disney+.
They're hunting us. It's time we started hunting them.
I can work with that.
That nobody gives a
This should be tons of fun.
Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again, now streaming only on Disney+.
I'm a guy who doesn't like to stop and observe. I'm a guy who likes to fix it, dive in, and go. Let's do it now. Let's get it done. I had to train myself over the years that that's not the best way to move. And in training myself to observe first, I actually created this business, what I call motivational observation or observational motivation. I've learned to step back and observe what actually works and what's actually going on, to become uberly aware of what's happening. And if you follow me at all, you'll know that I'm so dialed into being aware. And simply, it wasn't something that I created myself. It was just my clients were not aware of what was really happening in their life, and I was helping them figure that out. That's why I moved into daily awareness. I said, we need to be aware. Once you become aware of what's happening, you can't unsee it. So we observe first and become aware of what's actually happening. And then we go to the P in options. We pause. And I almost coughed there. We interrupt the reaction. Because in most things in life, if it's a problem, you might overreact. If it's not a problem, you might move faster than you should be moving. What we want to do is make sure that we interrupt the reaction. Create a little bit of space before we do anything about it. That's why I said sometimes 60 seconds it could happen, but oftentimes it'll be a month. Thirdly, the T in options, we have observe, pause, think. This is where you consider the possibilities and you consider the consequences. You have a moment to think, well, if I did this, or if I didn't do this, or what could I do, or what direction could I go? This is when you do that. You're thinking it through a little bit. Could be deep, could be shallow, but you're taking the time to think it through. Observe, pause, think. The I is identify. So we've considered things, but now we want to choose the option that's actually going to move us forward to what we want to do. Now, this is really a key place here when you identify this, because one of the areas that I work in with the Daily Awareness Diary is making you so aware of what's going on in your life. We move that into what I call the Who I Am document. And who I am is really, we're taking who you have figured out yourself to be, what you value, what you love, what your principles are, what drives you, what's important to you, what you want to do in your life, what impact you want to have, all the stuff. We just kind of figure that stuff out. It doesn't take long to do it. But we take that and kind of force it into a document that you have in front of you. And why I do that is because then when you come to a position where you can make a choice, we can make sure that your choice aligns with who you already are. Because so many times I see people that will make a choice that's not in alignment with who they have already decided they are. They break their own rules, and man, it breaks a lot when you do that. So if you want true options in life, you want true freedom in life, you need to make sure that everything aligns with who you are. Because here's the thing about that. When you're living within your value set and your actions actually enforce your values and they match your values, you're living a good life. If you have a value set that says I'm not an honest person, but you're out robbing banks every day, you're not going to be happy. So we want to identify the options that actually move you forward based on the value structure that you have in your life. It's really powerful. It'll keep you so grounded, and you'll be amazed how happy you get very quickly. So options is observe, pause, think, identify, organize. Structure that next move. This is where a lot of people don't do that. They want to move too fast. And yes, you can. There are some small things you can do. Not everything has to be structured, obviously. There are little things that you can say, hey, I'm just going to do it this way. I'm going to get M&M with peanuts and not plain M&Ms. You can just do it really fast, right? It's a natural thing here, right? Why did I think about that? Because, listen, I'm one of the few guys that knows M&Ms comes in like 5 different sizes. And I have purchased, well, I can't buy the family bag because, yeah, it's way too much sugar. Can't do that. Got to organize and structure your next moves. It just makes sense. If you're building a life and you're building on a good foundation, and we have a peaceful base of a foundation. So we built a good life in so many different ways. It makes sense that if we choose to do something, we would take just a moment to structure how that's going to happen. It could be very simple or very complex. But when you take the time to consciously decide how it's going to play out, then your life stays right in alignment and everything is good, right? Easy stuff. The N in options. Next step. Take a small, deliberate action. And I don't think I can overemphasize this. A lot of people take big actions. You don't have to. You can, but you want to take at least a small one, and you probably want to take it pretty fast. Like within the moment, when you're there, when it's happening, when you get to that point, when you say, okay, I know what I need to do. I've got my structure. Do something right away. That establishes momentum. And momentum, it's amazing what happens. It kind of works both ways. If you find yourself in momentum, you will be motivated to do more. At the same time, if we can get you motivated, you will get momentum. If you can take yourself through an options framework like this, observe, pause, think, identify, organize, and next step, momentum becomes inevitable. You'll get what you want. You'll keep what you've been having, and you're going to love life. And finally, the final S in the options framework is simply start. It's not that small, deliberate action. It's actually start living that way. It's incorporated into your life. It's bring the thing that you decided to do. So if back to the M&M metaphor, you change it, start living that way. What does that mean? Every single day when you buy M&Ms, you buy peanut M&Ms or plain, whichever one you choose, okay? You've decided. We reduce decision fatigue. We stay within our value set. We move forward quickly. We run into people and their values and whatever drama they have in the course of the day. And we have the ability now to kind of sort through that and make sure it matches our day. Because, guys, I can tell you this. The two biggest problems you're going to have in this world are going to come down to two things. First off, money. Money's going to be the issue. Money is one of the ways we get to freedom. But money's not always the biggest problem you're going to have. Probably the bigger problem is going to be people. People are going to be the issue. People are going to be your biggest asset and your biggest liability. You're going to run into people all day long that are just going to have their life and their drama and their stuff and their dreams and their ambitions, and they're going to be trying to not necessarily take yours away, although some will, but what they're trying to do is get their own. They want their own dreams. And so you have to manage that. So when we start, we put everything in play and we stick to our guns and we go after it that way. So it's a pretty interesting, easy way of thinking. And the way that I would apply this is I would probably write it down and keep it someplace where I could get to it until I understood it was natural. Once it got in my system, it's that way for me now. I do it naturally now. But eventually it'll be natural for you. But I would kind of write it down and put it on the side. And as little things came up and you felt maybe just a little bit trapped, then I would apply it. The options framework and watch what happens. Observe, pause, think, identify, organize, next step, start. Simple stuff. I'm going to get out of here. See you tomorrow. If you're interested in the inner circle, and you should be, if you're looking for that place between the lines, a group that can really, really help you, reach out. Hey, Scott Smith on Instagram or coaching@motivationtomove.com.